This game shouldn't be possible. Uh-oh. The AAA game studios are freaking out. Oh boy.
Where do I even start with this one? Where wins meet? I feel like this game just came out of nowhere. It just shot up straight to the top of some of the most played games on Steam. Over 200,000 concurrent players in its first week.
All of my normie friends are playing it. Like people who like play, you know, average Joe Schmo games. They've all been posting screenshots in a Discord. I remember my brother actually talked about wanting to play it as well.
Still holding strong, and it's just this
seems really
amalgamation of so many different games and genres. It's single player, yet an MMO. Both of those things are optional. It's an ARPG. It's got some Elden Ring, some Sekiro, some Assassin's Creed, and so much content.
Assassin's Fart?
When you have a game that goes this wide, it doesn't really work out for him. But in this case, it actually did. And this is all happening at a time where we've seen multiple MMOs that have failed straight out of the gate or have been canceled entirely, all because people just kind of assume that this is just a dead genre. It's not really worth the time or investment. Yet here we have...
And it's free. You didn't have to pay $60. You didn't have to pay $70 and then buy a bunch of DLC. It's free.
Have one that's delivering something the others haven't, which is giving players the time and space to actually be able to play these games. Now, this game is far from perfect. It has some rough spots. We're going to talk about that. But if you guys would have told me that a game like this would come out, that it would be free to play and no pay to win, I'd tell you guys that you're crazy. There's no way that that would happen, especially today. But where wins meet stands on its own. The players are loving it. I've absolutely been loving it. And I think this game is going to continue to grow. Now, Where Winds Meet did sponsor today's video. I didn't have to be honest with you. I was already 40 hours into the game when they asked. But they just want to know what my opinion on the game is. They want to hear my feedback, hear about my experience, and have me share my thoughts.
To be fair, every single person that I've heard, like even streamers that are not sponsored, they say they actually really like it.
Thoughts with you guys. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. Where Winds Meet is a game that I kept hearing more and more about after Black Myth Wukong blew up. Once that game cracked the ceiling, everybody started looking to the east to see what was coming next. But the more I heard about this one, the more confused I got about it, because I genuinely had no idea what kind of game it was actually supposed to be. Every preview that I watched made it look like it was a straight-up single-player experience. You got one-on-one boss fights that feel like they're ripped straight.
It is a little bit of a single-player game. I will criticize him for saying this. It's not an MMO. No, it's not. There's like options where you can play by yourself, and then there's options where you can kind of load out into like a lobby sort of and like communicate with other players, but I wouldn't call it a straight up MMO.
Got a Sekiro or Elden Ring, and then you've got this open world that is stacked with side activities like it's Assassin's Creed, and at the same time, people are also calling it an MMO or an MMO light. And yeah,
I wouldn't call it MMO. I'm a diehard MMO enjoyer, and I wouldn't call it an MMO. It's still really fun, but I wouldn't call it that.
It is actually all of those things at once. It's basically whatever kind of game that you want it to be. And that really works for me. And
how is it on Steam Deck? I should try it. Yeah, I should try it. Because I always use my Steam Deck while I'm working out on my treadmill because I get really bored. Yeah, I should try it. I'll tell you how it runs.
Really, it's worked for a lot of other people as well. Where Winds Meet launched to 160,000 concurrent players on Steam, and then spiked to almost 200,000 concurrent players in a matter of days. And I'll be honest with you guys, I did not see that coming. Everything recently has suggested that the MMO space is collapsing right now. New World just had all of its support cut. Amazon canceled their Lord of the Rings MMO. Ghost Crawlers MMO was canceled, and the entire studio was shut down. It's been a bloodbath, and the
problem with MMOs is that they take an insane amount of investment and also a lengthy amount of time to get set up, and all these corpos want instant gratification and instant like success, where you have to put in and invest a lot of money, where they want low investment and high turnover. And MMOs are not inherently built like that. The every single MMO, even the ones before like 2010, like EverQuest, RuneScape, World of Warcraft, I think Guild Wars 2 came out around about the same time too, but like not Guild Wars 2, sorry, Guild Wars 1. They all came out and they were not making a lot of money until like way later. Yeah, you have to invest an insane amount of money, insane amount of effort, and even then it might just bomb.
People have been convincing themselves that there just isn't an audience left for a game like this.
It's
But
not
I
true.
think Where Winds Meet just proved everybody has been looking at the wrong part of the formula. I think the biggest part of that formula is their monetization. Eastern MMOs have been dragging around some of the worst monetization.
As someone who has BDO on 6,000 hours, granted a lot of that is AFK, the Korean and Chinese MMO market is so pay to win. Like, I've heard that this isn't pay to win. Or at least it's like cosmetically not as egregious as most other MMOs that I've ever played.
The entire industry, pay for power, pay for progress, pay for basically anything that isn't nailed down to the floor. And that stuff has made this genre unplayable for a lot of people. These games already demand a huge time commitment. When you add a pay barrier on top of that, one that effectively creates an income gap in your player base, you're setting yourself up to drive people away. Where Winds Meet doesn't do that. It monetizes through cosmetics. There's no pay for power at all. Normally, in a game like this that primarily monetizes through cosmetics, that means that everything good...
There's a fox one! Oh my god, I gotta play it. I gotta install it on my Steam Deck. I gotta do it!
Is locked behind a pay...
I need it! I need it! I'm literally the SpongeBob! I'm the SpongeBob gamer!
Wall, but that's actually not really the case here. And as a transmog junkie myself, I like to have my characters looking good, all right? I have been unlocking tons of outfits just by doing quests and exploring. Sure.
My friend was posting screenshots of her character, and she has the duck cosmetic, the little bag with the duck on it.
There are some great paid-looking cosmetics, a couple that I've already purchased myself.
I've been meaning to play it.
I think the ones you earn in-game really aren't all that far off. Now, to be fair, the game's Battle Pass does offer some pay-for-convenience items, materials, consumables, the usual stuff, but it's all supplementary.
This reminds me of Blade Point, Naraka Blade Point. Yeah, the UI. That must be the same company that made this.
The same things, the same items that you're going to collect just by naturally playing the game. I've never once felt like I needed to actually have the ones that you could get through the Battle Pass, and the developers have gone on record saying that they are sticking to a strict no pay-to-win principle, no paid items affecting gameplay balance, no stat advantages hiding behind a purchase. They have committed to making all future content and DLC free to all players.
Wow.
So while the Battle Pass does exist, it doesn't really create any type of gap between paying and non-paying players. You're not going to feel left behind just because you're not spending money.
Dude, the animations look insane.
When you do earn a rare cosmetic or unlock something through exploration.
Dude, this is like Elden Ring levels of animation. Like, yeah, obviously lesser in quality, obviously, because of, you know, you can see the fractaling and the fire and stuff. But I don't know. It looks really smooth. Look at this right here.
It still feels
that's crazy.
Genuinely rewarding. This is something that a lot of games need to be taking notes on right now. Now, as you guys might know, I am always relatively leery when it comes to live service games and MMOs especially. I'm like oil and water when it comes to these games. I just don't have the time, and there's just something about a game demanding daily attention that just rubs me the wrong way. Either I can't keep up or I can't keep myself invested. This hasn't stopped me from trying. I love MMOs. I've sunk thousands of hours into World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV, but those worlds don't pause when I walk away. This one does. I've been playing Where Winds Meet completely single player, and honestly, it feels like I'm playing a single player game. You can swap freely between solo and multiplayer modes whenever you want. You can see other players, interact, join guilds, jump into PvP, fight bosses, all that stuff, but you can also just pretend like nobody else even exists. I'm about 40 hours into the game right now, and I'll be real with you, it feels like I'm just playing a wuxia Elden Ring. I can tap soul signs on the ground that will give me goofy screenshots and hints from other players. I can summon people for co-op fights while still technically being in single player. I never feel that typical MMO pressure or that rush to stay caught up on everything. I can engage. That's
what people are really sick of. As someone who played World of Warcraft for a long, long time, and I quit repeatedly, having the best gear and then logging in like 3 patches later and all of your gear is complete dog shit is really demotivating. WoW didn't used to be like that at all. Like, if you logged in and then you didn't play for like 2-3 months, it didn't mean that you were like behind all of a sudden. Yeah, obviously there's some pieces of gear that you'd be like, oh shit, yeah, I gotta, like, you know, catch up and get the new weapon. But like, if you still had a Biz trinket from like a couple of patches ago, it was still relevant. Yeah, it's power creep.
Enjoy
it's
the
so
story,
annoying.
challenging bosses, explore at my own pace, and the game just lets me do all that. And man, speaking of exploration, I swear, whenever they were planning this thing, somebody must have
the teleporting animation is insane in this game.
just sat down and said, what should we add to this? And they all just said yes. This world is genuinely stunning. Everywhere you look, there is something new to pull your attention away, and almost everything is explorable in the game. And you just point your camera and just walk in that direction, and it's not all empty space.
Todd could never.
Every single corner of this map is stuffed with
I love
content.
fishing.
There's fishing mini games, music mini games, board games, puzzle games, drinking contests, world bosses. You can even steal horses and pick fights with NPCs like it's GTA, rack up a wanted level, and then end up in jail if you get caught. The map is just covered with side quests, and half of the time, those side quests have their own side quests. Even random NPCs have their own little chat AI where you can ask them more about the area, build a friendship with them, get items, and pick up some more local lore. It'd be one thing if this is all just window dressing, but every piece of content is rewarding. Everything you do gives you something. The little puzzles and mini games are handing out crafting materials, upgrades, and cosmetics. I walked into a house, touched a mirror, and then walked outside and got a new hairstyle. Side quests will just randomly unlock entirely new abilities. You can literally learn type.
You explore everything and it has an attachment to it. It's not just there for the sake of being there.
Just from watching animals interact in the wild, like a bear trying to rip down a beehive. I've even heard that you can learn boss ultimates if you parry their special attacks enough times.
Oh, see, that's good reward systems right there.
It's honestly absurd how far they took exploration and environmental design. These guys really must have embraced the idea of the world is your oyster, because basically
you said the chatbot is AI, the one where you ask questions and then it answers it for you? See, AI can be used in like nice ways. Yeah, like, you can't possibly program every single fucking question that the person might have. That's interesting.
Just go anywhere and do anything. I really haven't found a single building that the game wouldn't let me enter. Once you reach the big city, Cave Fang, it's huge.
Yeah, all the AI haters are like, oh, damn, this isn't so bad, huh?
The whole game just feels like it's allergic to getting in your way. There's no, oh, it's a video game moment that breaks that illusion. It just lets your curiosity run wild, and the immersion in the game is so much stronger for it.
Everything. That's sick.
I really think traversal is what makes this all stick. Now, I do have some complaints here. I think you get snagged on objects way more than you probably should, especially while crouching. I ran into this non-stop during the stealth mission I had to do to unlock the dual blades, but outside of those moments, the movement is wild. You can run across water, sprint up walls, climb trees, triple jump, and you get a mount right from the start, which makes things even easier. And then there has to be one of the coolest traversal skills that I have ever seen, the lightness skill. It lets you launch yourself up into the air while doing these
this was so cool when I saw it on Twitter when it came out.
Full wuxia kung fu moves, kicking, spinning, tossing your weapon ahead of you as you glide across huge distances. It just looks so cool. And maybe I'm just easy to impress. Well, maybe not that easy, because as much as this game nails its content, it gets absolutely kneecapped by its menus. And I get why when you build a game that has this much stuff in it, you end up creating a menu for just about everything. But this is definitely something that they have to tighten up. I get lost way too often. There are so many skill pages and progression systems that I forget half of them even exist.
Naraka suffered from this too as well. When I played it a little bit, I had like 20, maybe 30 hours on it. Yeah, you get really lost on all this shit. And this is also way more than Naraka. Like, I can't imagine. UI update is early January? Wait, that's so nice. You mean to tell me they actually listen? Wow.
Playing the other night in real...
What? A live service game actually updating its shit?
Realize that the oddities traders actually have their own passive skill trees. You can turn in items for base stat upgrades. On top of that, you have martial arts to level, inner ways, mystic skills, talent points, gear upgrades, ability upgrades, movement upgrades, and then that's all before you even touch the battle pass and events and chrono exploration, achievements, matchmaking menus. The list just keeps going on. And look, I love that this game has so much to do, but the menus are such a mess that you're going to forget about rewards and progression systems altogether. There has to be a way for them to centralize and consolidate some of this stuff. I'm sure it's going to get cleaner once you get out of the new player experience, but right now it is the weakest part of this game, frustrating enough that it feels like its own boss fight. Which brings me to the actual boss fights in this game. So I picked Legend difficulty because, of course, come on, it's actually in my name. And honestly,
Legendary
I just really didn't expect to take the game all that seriously. But this game has handed me my ass more than once. There is a nasty difficulty spike when you go to fight Kihei. Honestly, it's kind of rude. I was stuck there for like an hour. But overall, this game does a surprisingly good job of balancing these fights, especially with how flexible their combat.
I got stuck on an Elden Ring boss for like fucking 2-3 hours. Yeah, I think Mikola took me like a total of like... It was over 2 or 3 days. Yeah, I think it took me like 6 or 8 hours.
System is you can swap between 2 weapons on the fly: short sword, long sword, fan, umbrella, twin blade, spear, and more, and they all have their own unique form and function. Fans and umbrellas are long range and they give you heals and buffs. The spear draws aggro and basically turns you into a tank. Twin blades are straight up just for burst damage. There is a ton of flexibility here, and it really lets you lean into whatever playstyle you want. And I realize that that's kind of just the core experience of this game. Play it however you want. I've got friends that are playing the game and treating it like it's a full MMO.
Autism Shubi Asmongold. There's another Asmongold in the back.
I got others that are just treating it like it's a co-op RPG, and then there are some people like me that are playing the game entirely solo whenever they have the time. That kind of flexibility is something that I've been saying for years is the future of live service games, something that can adapt to whoever picks up that game. And this game pulls it off in a way that honestly I didn't even think was possible.
Dude, this is so cool. It reminds me of Bleach with all the towers and shit and the reflective surface.
It's not a perfect game by any means. Beyond the menus and the occasional terrain issues, there's also some translation issues that make certain puzzles way harder than they actually should be. There's a bug where sometimes your character voice will get swapped with another one or just be muted entirely. But for a game that is this big, with so many systems that are stacked on top of each other, I'm honestly impressed that it even holds together. And honestly, that's the harshest criticism that I could throw at it. I really like this game. You know, it's been almost a year now since I played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I've been hankering to sink my teeth into another open world game, and I didn't even have to pay for this. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's free. It's free, and I'm pretty sure it's also a mobile game too. Like, you can play it on your phone.
I was very skeptical on this game. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I didn't even take the sponsorship until I was sure that I liked it, because I've just been so sketched out on MMOs lately that most of them just haven't really been delivering what I've been looking for. And this game just hits that happy balance between all these different types of games that I enjoy, or things from games that I enjoy, and also giving me the opportunity to play this game alone. And that's not to say that the group content in the game is no good. It's actually great. I've played tons of group content. I've done...
You know what this reminds me of? There was a really old MMO called, like, Age of Wushu, and I had a lot of friends that played it back in the day. I never got into it, but it was super immersive. It was more of an MMO than this, because what you could do is, like, get into jail, and then people prosecute you. You have to, like... There's, like, community events and stuff, and it was super sick. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of the same thing. Like, obviously the theme is identical. It's like, you know, set in like medieval China or whatever, and it has like fantasy elements to it, but it was so cool, man.
Boss fights and dungeons. I've healed other players. I've gone to some of these like social events and things like that, and there's just so many cool ways for you to be able to interact either directly or indirectly with other players. I really like the healing mini game, playing like a card game to heal other people's wounds. I've also gone and checked out people's guild bases. I checked out Asmongold's guild base, which is just like, it's so massive. These places are absolutely huge.
You go to jail
the game
too.
Also has player housing.
You can, so in Age of Wushu back in the day, you could break someone out of jail if you were in the same clan.
Pretty sure as well. It's just crazy. There's just so many things in this game, and I've only scratched the surface of it. I think I'm level 40 right now. I'm just running around picking up random stuff in the second zone, fighting bosses here and there, mostly just doing world exploration. This has become my perfect turn my brain off and just play. I just run around exploring areas or doing side quests or picking up these different items and collectibles and stuff like that whenever I want to. Just point my camera in one direction. And this game is stacked with so much content that you barely even need to use the map, because you're likely just to find something to do right at your feed.
I like that.
I love that. I think it's really cool. Anyway, I wanted to keep this one short, next to impossible for me, I know. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you guys check out Where Winds Meet. The game is available on Steam, Epic Games Store, PlayStation 5, and mobile, crazy enough. There'll be a link in the description down below.
Into mobile.
Check it out. Thank you guys for watching. Stay cool, stay righteous, stay safe. I will catch you guys in the next one. And Where Winds Meet, thank you for sponsoring today's video. Peace.
Family. 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 Oh, man. You know what I like about this game the most? Is that it strikes fear into the Western journalists and the Western audience. Or sorry, I should say the Western journalism audience that makes up a large swath of like Twitter. And I see a lot of positive things about Where Winds Meet, but I also see articles saying like, oh yeah, Where Winds Meet is a 6 out of 10 because the UI is dog shit and, you know, it has a few little bugs here and there. They try to criticize it and put it down a lot. And it feels like they don't actually play the game like everybody else does. Because obviously, I do take everybody's opinion with a grain of salt, and I do want to play it myself just to give an honest opinion. And I've come to the conclusion that these people have a bias. Yeah, it's getting like kind of like a Wukong treatment. Like they kind of brush it off and try to underplay it. They called it a Gooner game. Yeah, there's a beautiful Chinese woman. It's a Gooner game. Like, good lord, get a grip. Yeah, go check out Legendary Drops. He's awesome.
Oh, yeah.